Well, I always find like things after I see them that I nitpicky about myself, but that's I feel like a lot of artists. Like I know like, I try not to watch all the stuff that I do because I know I'll nitpicky and rip it apart. But or like Matt doesn't watch any of his stuff. Like he just does it and leaves it alone, which I tend to like try to do, but I can't help it because I want to see what the editing format is. Because sometimes when you do a show, you can do it your version. Like, oh, I hope they choose that second take. That second take was my favorite. I felt it. And then when you watch a show, they're like, oh, they went with the fourth one. Oh. So sometimes it's not even up to you. There was this last episode, the Guillermo Big Reveal episode. One of the takes was I was talking to Yana, the director, and she said, oh, there was another take that was so beautiful and tragic and everyone was crying, so we didn't use it. And I was like, what? He's like, because we're making a comedy, right? But it has to hit you in a way that you drop your guard, you have your emotions and you feel it, but then we're still making people laugh, And so it has to be really funny, and that one was just, from the beginning, was like tear central, and they would have been like sobbing and whatnot. So I get it, but then I go back and like, well, it's not the one I would have picked, but So, but I'm glad the one they did pick because of the way they edited with the other cutaways, with Naja's face and with the family and everyone and the timing, it worked perfectly. So I wouldn't redo it. I just wish you all would see the other tape.
I cried anyway, so.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yay. Okay, I think so. I'm like, okay, can you do this? I was like, yeah, I can do a bunch of that. Okay, great. Can you jump out of a third story window? Try to stop me. I can, yeah, I can do, but we're gonna do it right now? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna do it. And so I did it. Me falling out of the window with the finger slipping, that's me falling out of the third story window. That's me doing it. All the fight stuff in those sequences, me doing it. I did all my own stunts that whole season except for one stunt where he falls backwards in the staircase for insurance reasons. They didn't let me do that. They were like, Josh, get Josh in here. And Josh did it. He did it in one take because that's all you need. Because I looked at that and I was like, oh yeah, no, that looks like it's gonna break your neck, And leave the professionals to do that. And then this past season, I've happy to report that I did all the stunts in the night market, except for when I was shooting another scene. We have a really tight schedule, and it's a big scene, so we had to like multitask. So we were dividing, doing different scenes, and to save time, they had already I've been in the harness and everything to like do the flying and all that in that scene, and to save time, they just had Josh do the run on the on the van, and that's the one I was looking forward to, and I was like, I can't wait, we did it, it's because of time, we got it, don't worry. And I was like, what? And I was like, but I want to do it. So out of all the stunts, that's the one I didn't do, but I did everything else. The stick work was my idea, which I didn't regret it, but later I was like, what did I get myself into? Because I said, what if he came back from Europe with a trick? He was in London for a year. He found someone new. He's been learning new combat, so maybe he came back with a new tool, and I presented the idea of the stick to Yana, our director, and she goes, I like that, and then Tig, the stunt director, was like, okay, let me work on that. So they showed me that stick movement in less than an hour. I had to learn it, and then shoot it, all that stuff. And so I pride myself in doing all my own stunts, because I don't want to feed into the stereotype that Hollywood always does. That they're like, oh, a person of size can't do it, or oh, well, if you're not a professional, it's like, if you teach me something, I will learn. Teach a man to stunt, and you'll feed him for a lifetime.
Woo! Thank you.
More money, I know how. I will say this: that Guillermo, like I said earlier, he's been playing by the rules so much that he is now taking what's rightfully his, and he is owed years of back pay. He works his ass off. So I don't see it as stealing, I don't see it as embezzling, I see it as like, you're gonna pay me for my time. You're gonna pay me. I do more than you ever would, and yes, you're gonna pay for my time. So his new threads are great, and Laura Montgomery, who's our costume designer, and I have worked really kind of since season 2 And 3, like really hand in hand of just how to create the look where he's more confident, and after he becomes a Van Helsing or finds out he's a Van Helsing, his clothes are more fitted. He's wearing a blue vest with a pinstripe shirt, and he rolls up the sleeves, and he's wearing brown gloves, and it gives him a different hourglass look and a different like badass look. He stands taller. His posture has changed, you know? He's no longer submissive and, you know, tries to blend in with the back. He's no longer that Guillermo. You know, that Guillermo is becoming and flourishing. He's a metamorphosis right now. And this new butterfly is taking over, and then those wings are some flashy threads. So like, he's looking really stylish. This dinner scene the last week was actually Versace. They was wearing Versace, and he was actually wearing, when Laura texted me, he's like, these are the shoes you're gonna wear. And let's just say these are bloody shoes, red bottom shoes. He was wearing Louis Vuittons in the scene. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, we're going there. He's wearing Louis Vuittons, wearing like True Religion jeans. Which I personally wouldn't wear, but like, it's so funny, the Guillermo thing, that's what being financially stable is, and that's what being rich is, you know? Sometimes when you call new rich, you know, you run for the stereotypical like expensive garments, but you don't have to, but he does because he wants to feel rich. Like, he finally feels like, I'm a badass, I have money, I can kick your butt, you know, and all of that stuff. But if there's a costume that I would take with me, I got to take in season 1, I actually, we're almost out of time. They're like, But I got to take one of his sweaters by accident because they were made out of wool, and one of the costume assistants accidentally put one in the washer, and it shrunk into like a child small, and we could never use that sweater again, but we always have doubles of everything. So they were like, do you want the double? I was like, yes, I'll do the double. So I have a Guillermo sweater at home, but if I were to take another piece from the recent seasons, it would be that look that's really put together. And he's a badass in it. It's the tucked-in boots with the green pants, with the blue vest that's fitted, rolled up sleeves, and the gloves. I like that look a lot. When I was little, my mom worked a lot, and I was home alone, and no child should have to go through that. Out of necessity, you know, the mom worked really hard, and his parents were, you know, working and whatnot, and he sees that in Colin Robinson, and so he becomes like a parental, you know, maternal figure to Colin, because he wants to like lead by example. And at the end of the day, Guillermo was a human. He's the only human in the house. Everyone else is a vampire of some sort. And so as humans, we always lead with empathy, you know, or meant to lead with empathy. And so he wants something so bad, he's following the rules and the structure, but sometimes the rules and the structure don't work for you. And you need to take matters into your own hands, you know? And sometimes you just play by the rules and look where it gets you. Sometimes you get overlooked for promotion. You know, where Beanie's character got made into a vampire really quick. He doesn't get, you know, what he's been wanting for, and it's been 13 years. It's been 13 years of his life, and after the pilot, you know, it was 10 at that point. And so he's not getting what he wants, but he's also realizing that he thought he needed to be something else to be wonderful, powerful, desirable. And you don't. You can be very powerful in the space that you hold, as you are now, you know? And I think he's learning that as he comes into his own. He's like, wow, I'm kind of a badass because Van Helsing blood runs through my veins, but I'm also still human, but I'm also wanting to be a vampire. So there's nothing wrong with goals and aspirations. I think he's just trying to figure the balance of what that is. It's a lot happening right now, but great character, you know, to be layered, and that's why I think we love watching Guillermo's trajectory, because it's like, what's gonna happen? Like, what's gonna happen? And I just want him to be happy at the end of the day.